right, let's get this show crack-a-lacking. Hello and welcome to Disney with the Ducks. I'm your host for tonight, Lonnie G. But I can't do a show by myself, so I have some great Ducks as well as friends that are joining us today. So let's see who we have on board. So Jody, how are you tonight?
I'm fantastic. Hi, friends.
We have a special guest. She's been on before, and she's by popular demand back again. Katie G, how are you?
Hello, hello. I'm good. Thank you.
And we have a special guest, Dave. Dave, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
All right, good deal. So, guys, this is episode 137. I've been looking forward to this show, not because I like to run, but because we're talking about marathon weekend planning. I checked, I still hate running. So, this is a great time, as we get closer to that day when we have to lace up our sneakers and go out there for, depending on the race, 48.6 miles. Could be more running around the parking lot, could be less. I don't know. But we're so happy that you guys joined us tonight. So usually we do a question to get started, but we're going to go right into it because we have a lot to talk about. But if you enjoy our content and you like what you hear, please consider going onto the podcatcher of choice and give us a rating or a review. It helps with the algorithm and it helps people find us. So if you would be so kind to give us 5 stars, Jody covets the 5 stars. If you have anything to help us do a better job or anything like that, let us know. If it's a complaint, it's probably for Gene because usually all our complaints are centered around him. So there you go. So with that being said, we're going to get right into it. Marathon weekend planning. Jody B.
Yes, sir.
Busy week for marathon weekend.
Yep.
Let's talk about a little bit of travel plans first. When are you traveling in?
So we fly in on Tuesday, January 7th. And we have flown in on a Tuesday and on Wednesday, different times, different years. But I really like flying in on a Tuesday. And I'll tell you why. It just gives you a night to like settle in and not be crazy, not have to worry about, the next day is this. So it's one day to sleep in, one day to kind of relax. So we are coming in on Tuesday, January 7th, 2025, that is. Because, and the future, when people come back and listen to this episode, they're going to have to know what year we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this show is going to be archived. I mean, once it's on the web, it's there forever, right?
It is.
So there you go. Katie G, when are you flying in?
I believe we are also flying in on the 7th. Yes? 7th?
Yes, we are. We are.
Like Jody. Getting it done.
Getting it done. So as Katie said, I'm flying in on that Tuesday as well. This will be the first time I'm flying in on a Tuesday.
Really?
Yes, because usually I fly in on Wednesday. And I'm going to tell you, that Wednesday, if you remember from the last show, Gene and I, when we were flying down for Marathon Weekend, we were stuck in the airport for like 9 hours in Dallas. Because weather, flight changes, all that kind of good stuff. We were supposed to arrive at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Instead, we arrived at midnight in Tampa, rent a car, drive to the Orlando airport because our bags actually made the planes. We didn't get into our room till about 1:30, almost 2, and had to get up for 2:30 to kind of start running the 5K. So this time I said, you know what? I'm going in on a Tuesday. So there you go. Dave, what about you, sir? When are you traveling in?
I'm right there with you all. I'll be flying in on Tuesday. Plan is to get there Tuesday late morning or early afternoon. I'd have to double check, but I think I'm an 11 o'clock flight.
Nice. Okay.
Here's my theory about coming in on Tuesday. It's kind of like cruising. You know how you always are told to come in the night before a cruise. You never show up the big day. And I get it. Wednesday's not technically the big day. Wednesday is Expo Day. But if you fly in on Wednesday on Expo Day and you miss it, then it kind of throws you, Lonnie and Gene, into a tailspin on how you're going to handle 5K day morning and all that stuff. We did learn, Lonnie, what did we learn about picking up bibs. You have to pick them up at the expo, but in worst case scenario, what happens on 5K morning?
Worst case scenario, and I don't recommend this for anybody, but if you have an issue, they will hand out bibs morning of the 5K. But I can tell you, and first off, Jody, this shout out to her because she had to give us some coffee because we were still like dead sleeping, right? So Jody kind of wrangled us up, got us some coffee. We're in line. We're on the first bus. And when we got there, we still was about, what you would say, there was 75 people deep in line to pick up that 5K bib. And they only give the 5, to Jody's point. So literally, we got the bib just in time to walk to the corral, and then the race started. So they still had people trying to get their bibs. And for something like doping, when you have to run all the races, you just don't want that extra stress. You don't want any of that kind of stuff. So if you can, Tuesday would be great.
You had to go back to the expo to get the rest of your bibs and your shirts and everything else. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So to Jody's point, it threw everything off because here we go. We're going right back into the expo, on after the 5K, and that kind of threw off our touring plans for the rest of the day. So if you can, and I know everybody's situation is different, but you got to take into consideration weather and everything like that going in the first week of January, right? Because usually, depending on where you're coming from, the East Coast, there's some storms. So we're going to get in about 5 o'clock. Our first day is going to be very low key. We're going to head over to Disney Springs and kind of just hang out there, do a little Polite Pig, do a little souvenir hunting and stuff like that over there. So we like going over there and hang out. Dave, what's your plans for Tuesday when you get there?
I think you just made my plans. A Polite Pig sounds fantastic. Actually, I'm gonna get an easy Uber over to the resort, relax for a little bit, and then try and catch up with you guys and some other lizards. And Polite Pig sounds fantastic.
Oh, you can't go wrong with that.
Not at all.
Jody, what you say?
Well, this lizard needs a little fancy in her life. So as much as I love Polite Pig and as much as I love Disney Springs, I think we're going to go for our one and only fancy meal during marathon weekend because my stomach can't handle it the rest of the week. So that's my one time to kind of eat the butter and the cream and the whatever else, that goes on the sauces that go on the fancy food. So I think we're going to do something fancy that Tuesday evening. We're stuck between California Grill and Topolino's. We haven't quite decided which one, but
those are two good choices. Definitely, they're fancier than Polite Pig, but I understand.
Yeah, I mean, anyone's welcome to join us. This is not like date night. It's just, we figured if we're going to go for a glass of wine and a fancy dinner, it's got to be that night before we're not running the next day. So,
yeah, I understand. So anyone wants to join us join Jody B over at the Fancy Place or for some down home barbecue at Polite Pig, you're more than welcome. So it's a good deal. So staying, we're going to do a split stay. I know that we're going to stay over the first night over at Saratoga just because we want to be closer to Disney Springs. And then we're going to relocate over to our home resort after that. So that's our plans. Jody, I think you're staying on the monorail. No,
Nope.
We're staying on the...
We're staying on Sky. We're at Riviera, which is our home resort. So we decided just to use some points, get a studio. Funny enough, we've never stayed in a studio at Riviera. So might as well finally, because the kids have always been with us. So we like the 1-bedroom when we're there. So we're gonna do the studio.
Yeah,
I much prefer where Dave's staying though. So Dave, where are you staying?
I will be at Pop for the first time ever.
And to me,
man, you got a good one. Usually I like to stay at Pop for the races. Everybody knows that. Like Jody, we're using some points over at AKC, or Animal Kingdom Lodge, AKL. Anyway, so we're gonna be using some points as well over there. So yeah, but you got a good one, man. It depends on what building you get in. You probably got a nice short walk across the parking lot to the buses.
Well, that's great to hear. Is there a building I should request?
You know what? I'm going to tell you that building. I'm gonna give it to you because if I give it to you now, you may not be able to get it there. So I will give you the building, and then we'll put in the show notes after so that you can make sure, because you joined us tonight, you can get the first dibs on that building by putting in a room request.
Yeah, not where Tim and I stayed the first year. We stayed at Pop 2 years in a row, and our first year was not. We were way far away in the top floor, which, just let me tell you, stairs on the last day were terrible. But the second trip, when we were close to Eugene and Kevin, that building was better. And I can't remember which is which. So I'm going to have to look at my notes and remember. But Dave will tell you which one was better.
Because you walk straight out the room and go straight across the parking lot, and you actually see the buses from the building.
Yeah. And the bus person, the bus handler, I don't know how to explain their role. That woman, and her name starts with an M, and I can't think of it, like Mira or something like that. She is phenomenal. She gets you going. She's so fun. You have to get a selfie with her. Like, I almost want to stay at Pop just for her because she is that great. So I will miss seeing her in the mornings because she gets everybody and you get off the bus and she's cheering for you and happy. And Dave, we know you're going to be on the first bus back because you're speed demon. So you'll be like, oh, everybody else is just taking off from their race and I'm already finished.
Not these races.
I don't believe you.
So Tuesday's out the way. Wednesday morning, we wake up. Of course, we're going to be checking our luggage to move over to our home resort. But Dave, what do you have planned for Wednesday?
Well, I really don't have anything planned except for the expo. And that can take a while, as you guys know. So I'm going to allow a good amount of time for that. And then I'm just going to play it by ear from there. I've got park tickets for 6 days. So I could even go to the park Tuesday if I wanted to when I got there. So I'm kind of along for the ride at that point, starting on Wednesday.
Nice. Jody B, what about you?
I think our plan is to rope drop Animal Kingdom because it's the park that opens the earliest. So you can or typically, I should say, they haven't released park hours yet. So I think we're going to head over to Animal Kingdom, try to, maybe see a Yeti that morning.
And Avatar.
I was going to say, hold on a second. We may have to pay a little goodbye, hug and kiss to a dinosaur.
And that we will. We definitely doing dinosaur.
We'll have some Kleenex. Katie, are you going to pack Kleenex?
She's breaking
Best
down right now.
ride ever.
And then I figured from there we may go to the expo, but you can't go straight from the park to the expo. You got to go back to a park, back to a resort to go to the expo, because we're not going to get a car for marathon weekend. We've never had one for marathon weekend. It's been totally fine. So actually, did we have one last year when the kids with it? We may have had one last year. I may be lying right now. But
Jody, I have a question for you though. You're going to go to the park before the expo?
yeah, because the expo doesn't open till 10.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So by rope dropping, and we get there, the park opens at 8, get there at 7:30. They'll probably let you in then. The line's still up, brushing his teeth, all that kind of good stuff. But you can probably get, Avatar, definitely a dinosaur, and ride the Yeti, see a Yeti, probably before you can check in and see. Because depending on, and Dave, and I should say this, once you wake up in the morning, you have to actually check in to get a time to return for the expo. So you can't just stroll over to the expo and expect to get in. So depending on where we are.
Hold on. You need a time to return just to go shopping for the merch.
Yes, for the merch, which is that's the thing, right? You got to get the merch.
Oh, we got to do that.
Yeah. I mean, you can go there, to Jody's point, and get your shirt and your bib and everything like that, but you want the merch, especially marathon weekend merch.
Yeah.
So we're planning on rope dropping Animal Kingdom with Jody and Tim. So we're gonna do that in the morning and try to get those 3 big rides in, maybe more depending on the crowd, and then get a good expo pass time to go back.
So no pressure, Dave, but if you want to be with the cool kids.
I told you I don't have an agenda.
Why sleep in? I mean, why spend that first day sleeping in? Because we're going to be
because you're not going to sleep in the rest of the time.
Exactly.
So don't set a precedent by sleeping in now, because you're sleeping, no, just get up and do it.
So Katie, I have a very important question for you.
Yes,
Is your love for dinosaur the same as your father's?
it is. Dinosaur has been very loyal to our family. It has never broken down.
Never.
line has just never been long in general. We
Yeah.
have always experienced favor with dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs love us, and we love dinosaurs.
Yes, the cameras love us. Our family pictures are always just.
Does your back love dinosaur?
She's young, so the answer is yes.
You know, I really don't understand this. There's a conspiracy about your back in, dinosaur. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you something. Indiana Jones, if it's like in California, none of your pocket's gonna love you because you're gonna lose everything.
Really?
It will shake everything out of your pocket.
Wait, wrong way. There we go.
Yeah, it will. And I believe that one might be. Do you think it's as rough as Dinosaur? I think a little bit more. So, yeah.
So buckle up.
Buckle up. Exactly.
Yep.
Definitely buckle up.
All right. So Expo Day. So Katie, you've done a Run Disney race before.
Yes, I did Wine and Dine in last year. Yes, 2023. So people know.
So your experience with the craziness of Expo Day. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about how do you feel about Expo Day?
I personally didn't have like the craziest experience with Expo for like Wine and Dine. I felt like we kind of went in the middle-ish. So it wasn't super crazy. The lines were fairly short. They did run out of the metal pins. I don't know. I assume those. Yes, they ran out of those. But I love Expo Day. I am very excited to see what other merch they come out with. I definitely, Spirit jerseys are sometimes, like a hit or miss depending on the design. But I like the themes that we've been seeing with like the more like retro type animation that we've been seeing with a lot of like the medals and the characters and everything. Also very excited to see what pictures we'll be able to get. We did get a lot of pictures in for Wine and Dine last year, so I am very, very excited. I'm budgeting already, so we're ready.
If you ever run out of safety pins, I carry an entire baggie full of probably 50 safety pins every race weekend. Even though I have the bib snaps, I still get paranoid that something's going to happen. So I've got you covered. So if you need safety pins, as a matter of fact, we had a local 5K race and my neighbor texted me and she's like, I think a bunch of the people I'm running with don't have safety pins. And so I was running late to something and I rolled down my window and threw them out the door to her in this little bag. And she's like, that's a lot of safety pins. I'm like, listen, I got you covered. Oh, see, look at that. Show and tell.
I can't bring myself to throw them away. I don't know why.
Prepared.
How many safety pins are in there?
Oh,
both of you guys, there's a show that I used to watch that talked about not
a couple hundred, maybe.
I'm not going to talk about that show, but they're not a sponsor. But yeah.
Okay, so Dave, you've experienced marathon. I've done marathon weekend and other races. I think marathon weekend Expo Day is 100 times crazier than other race weekends.
Oh yeah.
So, Dave, what is your anticipation for Wednesday, January 8th, 2025, Expo Day?
I anticipate getting shirts and bibs will be pretty easy, but the merch, you talked about getting a queue number to come back. You want to get as early as you can because it was a madhouse when I was there in 23. When we were there, it was people pulling stuff from the racks and going along the sides, and people buying 100 different things, and where they were winding up.
Yep.
It's crazy, and I regret not buying a marathon or a dopey jacket, and I'm not going to have that same regret this year. So get there early and get up and get a early queue if you can. But it is crazy. It is nuts.
Is it more dopey and marathon stuff that runs out, or is it just everything? Everything just goes.
Yeah. And Dave makes a great point in regards to people grabbing a bunch of things. If you don't see the size you're looking for, a lot of times there's some racks on the side that people try stuff on, or they grab every size and they try it on, and the stuff that they don't get, they just throw it on the rack on the side. So if you don't see what you want on the main racks, just scour around and see if you see a piles of merch just sitting on the side somewhere, because usually that's some extra stuff that you'll see them trying on stuff and just throwing them on the side.
And it's kind of every man for them. Like I suggest I'm not like this normally, but my suggestion is grab stuff and kind of hoard it, because sometimes a medium is more like a small and sometimes a medium is more like a double XL, and you don't have any idea until you kind of look at it and try it on. Like I think Spirit jerseys run huge, but I think some of the other merch, like I made a mistake in Disneyland. I didn't try something on and I didn't realize it was a men's size shirt. So I'm swimming in it. It's gigantic. And I kind of am bummed by that because it's really, really big. But so definitely kind of grab a bunch of stuff, hold on to it. The best thing is, though, they do allow you can use the app to load the things in your bag and check out that way instead of going through the really, really long line. So that is a plus. If you've never checked out through the app, doing the shopping bag, I don't know what it's called, but definitely do that, because then you don't have to stand through the long line to check out during the merch time.
Yeah, good point.
And for those of you who have not been, there are also 3 buildings you have to go through. Well, you don't have to. You only really truly have to go through one. One of them has your bibs and your shirts. One has vendors, which I always enjoy going through too. And then the other one has merch. And the only one you need the virtual queue for is your merch. But the line during marathon weekend is long. I mean, it wraps around and snakes around because there are a lot of people who do multiple races. And so if you're going to do multiple races, you have to be there on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Or unless you're Lonnie and Jean.
Yeah, and you just, hang out in the airport, all day, do that kind of thing. So after a couple of key points for that Wednesday, get up early, get yourself a good virtual queue so that you can go back early and check the merch if that's what you want, to get your bibs and things of that nature. After we get that, we probably just go bring those things back to the room, and then we're going to head off again. So, Jody B, after that, we bring the stuff back to the room. Where are we heading?
Well, my thought was to go back to Disney Springs, maybe load up on some cookies for the rest of the week, because everybody needs a Gideon's, maybe do a little shopping. If you guys hit up Polite Pig the night before, maybe we try Homecoming or Boathouse or something. I don't know, wherever we can get a reservation. But, I kind of thought pre-5K is another day that I don't have to be super, super strict about what I eat. So I can get away with a little bit of maybe some fried chicken or something, maybe not so bland and boring. So I'm hoping we can score a reservation over at Disney Springs for that evening on Wednesday, the 8th.
Good deal. So depending on the time, you could run back into the park for a little bit and then head out to Disney Springs. No, there is no bus from the park to Disney Springs, so you're going to have to take a bus to a resort, and then from the resort over to Disney Springs. Factor that in this entire week for Marathon Weekend, right? I mean, the buses, usually, to Jody's point, there are way more people that come down for Marathon Weekend, so the buses may be a little bit longer, so pack your patience. But factor that in, because you can't just go to Disney Springs or from Disney Springs to a park. Right?
Yeah, and I made that mistake 2 years ago when I was trying to meet you guys at Homecoming. I came from the expo, and I knew I couldn't go straight to Disney Springs, so I thought, well, I'll go to a resort that's closest to Disney Springs, and I went to Saratoga, but it dropped off at the front of Saratoga, and then I tried to walk from there, and that was disastrous. So it took me way longer than I had thought. So allow that extra time for, getting from point A to point B, because it really will take some time. But as Lonnie said, one thing to remember, there is a bus running constantly from each Walt Disney World resort to the ESPN Wide World of Sports, which is where the expo is held. So there's plenty of buses that go back and forth from the resorts to the expo, but not from the expo to the parks or expo to Disney Springs.
Good point. So Thursday, a little something called a 5K takes place that day, right? So we're all, Everyone on the line on the call tonight is running dopey. I don't know why, glutton for punishment, but that means rerun every race. So we start Thursday with the 5K. That should take us about 2 hours.
If we're doing it right.
If you're doing it right, if you finish that 5K in 30 minutes, I'm gonna question your life choices. You want to take it nice and slow, take every picture, just relax, walk it out. We kind of save our legs for that day just because, right? We're gonna have a lot more running taking place after that. So after the 5K, Dave, yeah.
Hold on a second.
Oh, what?
Mr. Lonnie G, who doesn't wear costumes.
Don't wear them.
But I think you sent my husband a text the other day about wearing something in particular on the 5K. So, Lonnie G, what are you wearing on the 5K?
Well, I am going to wear, by protest, so I'm going to hate it the whole time, but I'm going to wear our Duck jerseys that we've ran for the last 5K for Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend. And we bought them out again for our Disneyland 5K race. So that's the only time I'm wearing it. Technically, it's not a costume. I think it's our uniform. So we're going to wear that for the 5K.
I'm still in the queue. Still in the queue.
I got you covered.
So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we have these hockey Mighty Ducks jerseys. They're green and yellow. They're the true Mighty Ducks jerseys. We have worn them for a couple of times now. And Lonnie had to text Tim to make sure that he was going to wear it for the 5K because Tim swore he was never going to wear it again. But he promises that he is. If anyone wants the Amazon, this is not anything like that. It doesn't say Disney with the Ducks or anything. It says Mighty Ducks. But if anyone wants a link, I think we all just got ours off of Amazon. But if anyone wants a link and wants to see what we bought, feel free to reach out to one of us. We'll send you a link. Please don't feel like you have to dress in a Mighty Ducks jersey. It's just kind of fun. If you want to enjoy a nice, leisurely, slow-paced 5K with us, that's how we'll be dressed. I know our friends over at the Rise and Run podcast, they're going to be dressed as 101 Dalmatians. They got some shirts from Kauai Pizza Apparel, which I bought something from them for Wine and Dine race weekend. I'm excited for. So they're definitely doing 101 Dalmatians. So if you see them out on the course, give a shout out to our friends at Rise and Run because they'll all be pretty fun too. So
awesome podcast.
Yeah. Yep. Dave, do you have a Ducks jersey?
Yeah.
I thought so. I wanted to make sure. I was almost positive, but I just wanted to double check.
And let me say this. I'm going to back up to the beginning. If you see us in the parks, if you see us at the expo, if you see us at Polite Pig or at Art Smith's, please come up and say hi. Right? I mean, we'd love to meet you and just talk to you and get to know you. If you're one of our 3 listeners, I think we're up to 4. One of our 4 listeners, just come on up, say hi. We'll love to talk to you. So 5K, about 2 hours. We're finished. Hopefully it's got a nice little brisk cool in the air because that jersey holds in heat and I don't want Tim to fuss at me. So what are we doing after that, Jody? What did we say we were doing after that?
Oh, the most important thing ever. There are 3 words to the sentence. Blueberry, bacon, pancakes.
Yes.
That
the
is
absolute best. The absolute best.
Actually, Lonnie, I think you and I did not order them though. If I remember correctly, we did.
I got the shrimp and grits.
Yeah, and I think I got the lox and bagel. So
yes, but we did. I mean, they're the best because I took some of Gene's. I mean, he was like, I can't eat all this; it's too much. I'm like, all right, then. Well, I'm going to help you with that. The shrimp and grits are fantastic. So we're going to get a reservation for that. Jody, tell us where we're going to be, what resort that is, I should say, and what time are we shooting for our breakfast?
Well, so for those of you who don't know, this is where we all met, or we all had, I guess, our bonding moment. So we are going to have a brunch. I guess it's going to be brunch by that point in time. A brunch reservation at Ale and Compass, which is, I never remember, is that beach or yacht?
I think it's yacht.
Yacht.
Okay. Yacht Club. We're going to have a brunch reservation there. It is something that we love. It is a really great brunch. Hopefully we'll have a pretty big reservation, and others can join us if they want. I will tell you that I have not left that breakfast without my cheeks hurting from laughing so hard. So if you want to have a good morning and enjoy a 5K breakfast with us, please, that's the place to be.
Yeah. Now, last time we left there and went, I don't know what we were thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
But we left there and walked into Epcot and rode Guardians of the Galaxy.
We did.
On the full stomach. I don't know what, like I said, I don't know if we wanted, we're testing fate. I don't know what it was, but we got off of it. We were like, yeah, that wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, and here's the best thing. None of us had showered either because we had taken so long at the 5K and then had dilly-dallied along and taken pictures and just we were living our best life that we went straight from the 5K to brunch and straight from brunch to Epcot and stinky the whole time. I felt really bad for everyone around us. So,
but were we stinky? I mean, we really didn't sweat. It was cold that morning. I mean,
it was not.
Yeah, I mean, cold enough.
It was cold in California.
Now that it was. So,
Yeah.
so we're gonna. Are we? I know we haven't landed. I know we're definitely doing that for brunch. But where are we going? Are we going into Epcot after that as well? Are we gonna go back to our room and meet in Epcot? What's the plan?
I don't think we planned that part out. Which part we were going to go to?
Yeah, so we didn't. So maybe that'll be a good Epcot day. Go back in. We catch the Skyliner. You can to your resort. So
can Dave.
Yeah, Dave can catch the Skyliner as well. He's gone over there, and then we're gonna go over to Animal Kingdom, get fresh up this time, and meet back at Epcot. How about that?
That's a great plan.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna make a note of that. So, guys, fish and chips for lunch. Oop, boom.
Yeah,
there you go.
Absolutely.
Lonnie, you're gonna laugh at this. Somehow, in my notes already on January 8th, 2025, in my personal work calendar, I have take Lonnie to get ice cream written down in my notes. I have no idea what ice cream I meant or why I was supposed to take you to get ice cream, but
oh wait, are you talking about because I listened to the episode about where to get the best ice cream. You said it's like in France where they like press the bun.
Yes, that's what it was.
It's on my
Katie, you are the bomb.
I'm that
she's one of our 3 listeners.
Exactly. She is. So that's what it was. I was just thinking the same thing that you were mentioning to me that you said, hey, we got to go back there because I didn't get the ice cream sandwich in a croissant.
The brioche.
Brioche. I'm sorry, brioche. So let's do it.
Although John a macaroon or macaron, I don't know how to say it, but that's how John has his, but I'm a brioche girl. But I actually had that written in my work calendar. Take Lonnie to get ice cream as an appointment in my work calendar. So in my mind, I guess I knew we were going to go to Epcot because I already wrote it down. So
there you go. So there it is. Thursday, Epcot.
All right.
So after that, Friday.
No, we're just on.
Yeah, we're on Friday, right?
Friday now. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah. So Friday, we have to wake up again and run another race. This is the 10K. Definitely no uniforms for the 10K. So it is what it is. We don't know what corral and stuff we're going to be in once again, but we're going to do a 10K.
Corral Dave's going to be in.
Yeah, Dave's going to be in A. So we know that. Dave will probably be texting us saying, hey, at this mile marker, they'll have this. Dave is our scout. He goes out fast. He'll be finished by the time we probably get to mile 1.
Didn't we say that that's not the way to do this?
It's not the way. But, sometimes you get caught up in the emotion and you're like, I'm running fast. Me, I'm like, I'm running slower. So there you go. So Friday, 10K. And afterward, usually Fridays, we do Hollywood Studios. Just always have. It's just something that we kind of do. So anything particular in Hollywood Studios we're looking forward to doing?
Star Wars.
Yeah, we got to do Star Wars. I mean, why not? I mean, can you go there and not do Star Wars? So Rise of the Resistance. Hopefully we get there enough time where it doesn't break down. But if it does, we'll just see the Sith and the Resistance in the back smoking a doobie. But if not, we're going to be good. We're going to just go and we're going to see it. And we'll do that. We'll hang out there for a while. We haven't made any lunch plans. as
Wait, I have a big question. Dave, do you have Park Hopper?
Yep.
Okay, good.
perfect.
Good. Because that was an important question for me because I do have a suggestion for dinner.
Okay, let's hear it.
So a couple of years ago, I had dinner at Tepanito in Epcot with Rhonda Lee and Julie and Joe. And Tepanito is the hibachi place in Epcot. And that's really great before a race because you get a little protein, a little carbs. It's not too heavy. So I'm hoping maybe we could get a couple of hibachi tables for that evening or early evening, 4:30 or whatever it is, because, we all have to be in bed somewhat early. So I would love that Friday if we could hop from Hollywood Studios to Epcot, which is a really easy hop, and maybe get some tables over at Tepanito.
I'm game for it.
And for lunch, I'll probably have the big gigantic pretzel at Baseline. Let's just be honest.
Oh, I'm going to mention Baseline too. Got to grab a beer and do some people watching at Baseline.
Oh, got it. And the best thing about that is the park hopping piece of that. You can walk it if you like, but you don't have to. You can jump on the Skyliner as well, right? So
I don't
Skyliner goes straight.
Walk it since we're running 48.
Yeah, we're not going to walk it, but for the people that maybe
Skyliner karaoke.
Skyliner karaoke. There you go. So we're going to hop on a Skyliner. We're going to head over to Epcot. It puts you off right in the back. We can stroll right in the back, and we're good to go. So we're going to do a little park hopping. All right, I'm good with it.
Let's go.
Have you guys all been to Tepanito before? Dave, yes. Katie, no.
Yes,
Lonnie?
I've been before. So, but that'd be great for you to go, Katie Boo. You'll love it.
I mean, it's not. Listen, you probably have a local hibachi place, which is probably half the price and twice as good. But it is dinner and a show. But it is. I do like it. I mean, it's.
It's a cool place. Let's be honest. Anytime you eat in Disney, it's good.
I've been there multiple times, and I've enjoyed it every time.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to make a little choo-choo train. Right?
Throw some food in your mouth.
Yeah. Now look, be careful. The stick hit you in the eye and then like that, you're blinded for the next day, which is that Saturday, which is the half. You mean to tell me I have to double my distance from Friday to Saturday? Apparently so. Jody made a good point. Save your legs any chance you get. You'll see it's not. When you go to Disney, you probably average about 15 to 20,000 steps anyway. Think about running a race before that, right? Adding on to that. And when you run those races, you'll see if you're checking your Garmin and things of that nature, there is a lot of walking to get to the corrals and things of that nature. Usually not for the 5K and the 10K, but the half and the full, you are going to walk a lot to get there. So save your legs, to Jody's point. So Saturday, 13.1 miles, right? Okay, we're doing it. Yes, ma'am.
What are we wearing?
What are we wearing? We are wearing our blue running duck shirts.
What are we wearing for the 10K?
I think 10K, we said we were just freestyling.
Okay.
But for the half, we always break out those shirts. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm gonna get you one, Katie. I got you covered. I should say Jeff's gonna get you one. Yeah, she covered.
I'll send him a message.
No, I'll reach out to him. He probably be like, but I'm gonna stay on him. So I got you covered. So yeah, so half running that in our blue running Donald shirts. After that, Saturday, what's on the agenda? There are a couple of meetups, correct, Jody?
There are lots of meetups, and I was hoping Jean was going to be here to read all of these. Jean, you missed your assignment.
He had one job, but I'm not. See, that's the complaint that people need to put on him. He had one job.
One job. So Saturday, excuse me when I flip through and read this. So the Lizards, the Be Our Guest Lizards, which we're all big fans of the Lizards. We're all wizards. Lonnie, what's your slogan? What do you say about the Lizards?
When you're a lizard, you never run alone.
Yeah, or Lizard for Life. We got that.
Of course, Lizard for Life.
So our good friend Joe, he has organized a lizard meetup on Saturday at the Poly, which is a really cool afternoon meetup, about 1:00, if I remember correctly. It's out on the grassy knoll. If you want some grub from Captain Cook's, it's right there. But it's just a really nice place to or the noodles are really good too. it's a really great place just to hang out with friends, and it's not too hot, and great place to just catch up with everybody and see some friends or meet new friends or a combination of both. And I apologize. On Friday, the 10th, let me go back a day. The Run Fit Fab group is having a pop-up event at the Swan and Dolphin Resort that features a range of activities, including a core and mobility activation session, a secret supplies segment, which is from our friends over at the Rise and Run podcast. And but that's a ticketed event. So if you want to go to that on Friday, that's $25, and it's over. You can find that information on the Run Fit Fab group. Then also on Saturday, so there's a Literature meetup at 1, and then there's a Rise and Run meetup at 3, and their meetup is at the food trucks over at Disney Springs.
Mhm.
So, we love all of our other friends and all the other podcasts, and we'd love for you to, go say hi to all of them and give them love if it works in your schedule. I mean, I know everybody is also trying to save their legs for the next day. So, pick and choose wisely, because no one wants to walk too much on that Saturday.
Right. Especially because after that, my suggestion is, look, go to a meetup. You can hang out for a little bit, but you want to be in your room. You don't have to go to sleep that early, but just get off your legs, right? So you want to rest your legs because on Sunday, what do we have to do, Katie Boo?
Gonna run a marathon.
What?
And whose first marathon is this?
It's my first marathon.
Woohoo!
Crazy. Hopefully first of many. Following in family footsteps.
Love it.
Okay, good deal.
Very excited.
Dave, are you excited for your marathon?
I'm excited for my marathon.
This is your what? How many have you done?
This will be my second.
Nice.
And who did you get to experience your first marathon with?
What's that?
Who did you get to experience your first marathon with?
With you.
Oh, I know.
I am limiting my marathons to Disney Marathon.
Smart. That is you smart man, sir.
And if you all know, Dave was adamant about not going on Everest during the marathon. Dave, you want to tell the story?
Yeah, Jody wanted nothing more than to ride Everest during the marathon. And I thought, what a crazy idea that would be. How much would that mess me up while I'm in the middle of running 26.2 miles for the first time ever? And now I'm going to get on a roller coaster that goes backwards. And I'm going to get off that. And then I'm going to probably run into a tree. But we got there and everybody in our group was on board. So why was I going to not do it? And it was fantastic.
Peer pressure is real, Dave.
I'm telling you.
Real. So yeah. So I've did it before, and maybe Katie Boo's, if we're having a good time and we're our pace is good enough, we'll just do it again. But it's great. Usually by the time you get to Animal Kingdom, the park is open, so you'll have a lot of people on the side cheering for you. It'll fire you up, right? And then hey, you just run up there and get the single rider line and ride Everest.
Around what mile is that? I know they changed the course.
What's it gonna be this year though?
They changed the course. So what is it this year?
18 this year. Last year was way earlier. It was like 16, and I think this year we're back up to 18. And remember, we started half an hour earlier this year.
Right.
Very good point. So Jody, what time do we start this year?
Marathon Sunday starts at 4:30 a.m. this year.
For the love of man.
And the other change, which everyone is up in arms about, rightfully so, is we don't finish through World Showcase going around all the countries. We just do a little tiny jog through UK and Canada. So instead of a margarita, we all will finish with a
Guinness?
I don't know, black and tan something. I don't know, whatever we can find in UK and Canada. So
yeah, I like to be a positive person, but man, I loved finishing the marathon through World Showcase because usually it's full of people on the side cheering for you. You just get a nice boost of energy when you're going through there, right? And then to Jody's point, finish with you want a cupcake, you want a pretzel, you want a margarita. You had all those choices, but now they kind of eliminate some of that. So
A
we'll
friend
see
of
how
ours,
it is.
actually, the Rise and Run guys, they finished with the Tipsy Ducks of Love or something.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bob's favorite drink.
My thing is, like, I feel like it made more sense to go through World Showcase because the crowds haven't gotten back that far yet. Now we're finishing up closer to the front of the park where the crowds are going to be thicker. So I think Disney didn't do us a solid here on a lot of levels, but whatever. I mean, we can't change it. It is what it is. So
We still have Boardwalk towards the end, right?
we do.
We do.
And there's a margarita stand on Boardwalk.
That's a long way to have that margarita. And then another big change is instead of going up Main Street and going right, we're going left.
Yeah.
So that's another big change, right?
We're all
We're
gonna
not
be
running that
totally
way. We'll see. We're gonna here at Disney with the Ducks. We stay positive, so we're gonna say that this is probably gonna be a good thing, right? Yeah.
Change is fun. Change is fun.
Change energizes us. We're excited. We'll see something different.
One thing we've all learned, right, as Disney fans, is that they make a change and then we all get critical of it initially, but it winds up there's a reason for it.
Yes.
And it turns out most of the time to be a pretty good one.
Yeah, good point. They know what they're doing. So, hey, we're good with it. We're good with it. So we're going to roll with that. So we're all going to finish, right? Because that's what we do. When we start something, we finish it.
Wait, what are we going to wear on Sunday?
We got to represent the lizards, right? So we are wearing our lizard green or, lizard black if you wanted the black, but we usually go lizard green. That because if I pass out, somebody will see me. They'll be like, caution runners, lime green speed bump ahead. And you hear that. And, if I pass out, do me a solid and just stop my Garmin. So don't let the time just keep going. Just do me a solid. Stop.
Okay.
Just jump over me.
This is funny. So you all know that I normally swim on Fridays, and I share a lap lane with 94-year-old Charlie, who I love to pieces. And Charlie wears lizard green swim trunks. And his whole thing for reason for wearing lizard green swim trunks is if he goes to the bottom of the pool, the lifeguards are going to see him. Because one day he had a different pair of swim trunks on. I'm like, Charlie, these aren't your normal swim trunks. And he said, my daughter said they were getting too worn and I needed a new pair. So I have these other ones. He's like, but I don't like them because the lifeguards can't see me now. I'm like, don't you worry. I'll be looking out for you, Charlie. I got you. Like, don't
wear blue, Charlie. Don't wear blue.
94-year-old Charlie, who I share my lap lane with, he wore his lime green lizard swim trunks. So yeah, they're definitely noticeable.
That they are. Look, I love Sundays there, right? Now, usually, and I know it's crazy, I would finish a marathon, hop in the park for a little bit and fly back, but I'm not. So I'm staying actually this time, and we're gonna celebrate our successes, right? We're gonna go into Magic Kingdom. You're gonna get some castle picks. We're gonna do we might do a ride or two. We definitely gonna get some popcorn. So there you go. So we're gonna do that kind of thing. We didn't make reservations or put anything down for lunch yet, and I find it the reason why, and we may want to go back and revisit that. You drink so much and snack so much during the marathon that usually, like, it was a staple. We would do that or go to Art Smith's, but I ended up never being able to eat everything because I was always full by the time I got there from drinking and goose and all that stuff the whole time. So we may change that, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, marathons kind of mess with your stomach a little bit, and you tend not to be too hungry. So, so that we'll see. But Dave, do you know what the lizard plans are Sunday night?
What are they Sunday night? I know Joe posted something, but is it fireworks?
Yeah. So Joe proposed that we all get tickets to the fireworks show. I don't think he said yet the pre or post. I think maybe pre. But the dessert party, which is a hard ticket event, so that's 60 days out. You need to book that. We did that a couple years back with a bunch of lizards, and I have to tell you, it was awesome. It was really great to watch the fireworks that night and sit on the hub grass. Now, getting up from the hub grass was a little tricky, but it was a really great evening. So
maybe we ought to make it the post, just in case it takes a while to get up.
Yeah, there's got to be one spouse who didn't run the marathon who's going to be there who can like lift all of us off the ground. So
Yeah. So it'll be a later night. So I usually go back. Usually they say, keep moving. Yeah, no, I'm gonna take a nap, and then I'm gonna head into the park a little later and do my thing and meet everybody for the firework party, dessert party.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
And my favorite thing about the fireworks dessert party is that it's one of the few places in Magic Kingdom that you can get an adult beverage. So we all
I
get
mean,
to
it's carbs. You got to refuel.
We will have all earned it by then for sure.
we will have definitely earned it. So I think that sounds like a solid plan. Now, who knows if all of this will come into fruition because we aren't at our dining window yet. That opens on what date?
Well, I was leaving it up to you, Jody.
It opens up on November 8th.
Right, what you said.
We're checking in on January 7th. So it opens up on November 8th at what time?
6 a.m.
There we go. We got that one right. So, who knows? Maybe we'll get some of these, maybe we won't, but that's what we're trying for. And if you would like to join us, we'd love to have you. I promise, none of us bite. Maybe Jeff bites, but he's not going to be there. So you don't have to worry about that. And Tim won't be nice until you give him a beverage and then he'll be your friend. So, but for the most part, we're all pretty decent humans, I would think. And we'd love for you to join us.
Yes. Great.
Are you
So
excited?
I'm excited not to run. I'm just excited to hang out with a group of great friends. That's the keys to going back. I'll be honest. It's not the running. You can keep that running. But hanging out with you guys what makes it worthwhile. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, me too. I'm really looking forward to the whole weekend. And the time is flying by. I don't want to wish it away, but it is creeping up on us.
Oh yeah. Long run. Well, when you listen to this, it'll pass, but we have 17 miles coming up this weekend.
Yes. We have a 7-mile walk and a 17-mile run.
I'm doing a modified Higdon plan where I'm not doing any back-to-back long runs. So I just did a 12-miler yesterday, and I have 9 next weekend. And then I have a half marathon. I'm scheduled to run a half marathon in 2 weeks, so that'll be my training run for that weekend.
Perfect.
That's Man, maybe I need to go to the Higdon, but then y'all have a lot more running. So yeah, no, probably not.
All right, Lonnie G, are we going to finish with our favorite part?
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? It's definitely my favorite part, and from our 3 listeners, it's their favorite part too, and that is quacking up with the ducks. So Jody B, can you quack us up tonight?
Well, I will try. So you all know that I have a loathing of treadmills. So why shouldn't runners use a treadmill?
Why?
Why?
It will get them nowhere.
Yeah. Dave, can you quack us up, sir?
Well, we didn't talk about this new cake bake shop that opened up on the boardwalk, and some people have seen their prices, and that's a conversation for another day. But it's good news that Disney is opening up another restaurant. They just filed permits for another restaurant, and I don't know if you guys have heard about it. It's called Karma. Have you heard about it?
No.
They don't have any menus. You just get what you deserve.
Oh,
Oh, that's a good one.
that was good.
So, I don't have a joke tonight, but, Jody mentioned it. In regards to for marathon, I'm wearing lime green. That's so in case I pass out, somebody could see me. I thought about buying a pair of camouflage or a camouflage shirt and pants to wear, but I couldn't find any. I quacked myself up. So, guys, thank you so much. Thanks to Katie for joining us. Dave, thank you for joining us tonight as well and sharing your insights. Guys, like I said, if you love what you hear or just like what you hear, if you can hop on, give us 5 stars, give us a review. We would love to have it. We want to get better. So any feedback you want to give us, and trust me, we got the feedback about getting rid of Gene, unfortunately, it's something in his contract that he signed that we can't fire him because we don't pay him. But if we could, we would get him out of here. So with that being said, thank you so much. We're going to ask that you don't sue us because we don't have our disclaimer tonight. But once again, blame Gene. But thanks for joining us tonight. Bye, everybody.
Bye, friends.
Take care.